It happens to all of us that our life rewards us for our mistakes. There is no person to whom this has not happened. If we ever find ourselves at the bottom, there are only two possible ways that an individual can react. He can suffer and give up his life, which unfortunately the vast majority do because they are afraid that they will be hurt again, or there are others who decide to fight against that same life. Man does not need to be particularly intelligent to know which way is easier. It is easier to give up on life and settle for those little breadcrumbs than to stand up and fight. But if we decide to fight, then we must be aware that we are not fighting anyone but ourselves. We must start relentlessly to defeat ourselves and our habits because it is our bad habits that have brought us problems. The most difficult fight is the one that man leads against himself, but also the only correct one. If we are not satisfied with ourselves, it is logical that we must change. It will not always be easy because it is very easy to build bad habits. Since it is a habit, we can say that we can become addicted to them, but it is difficult to live with them, while on the contrary, good and positive habits are very difficult to build or learn, but once we learn them, it is very easy to deal with them to live. Which is normal. Everything that has become a habit, the body does automatically only because it has been taught to do that operation because it has become a routine. We must be aware that we will not win immediately. The fact is that the will has become ill, and it is the one that needs to be worked on. It is the one that needs to be cured. We will fall, we will go to the bottom, but because we have learned how to get up, every time we will get up stronger than when we fell, with more desire to win, with more self-confidence, and a greater desire to succeed. The fact is that only the one who never gives up can achieve something, get rid of his bad habit, and replace it with a better one that is worthy of him. Let's not allow ourselves to be disappointed. We learn from mistakes. If you fall, try to get up as soon as possible, as little as possible to be sad and blame yourself. We are human, we all make mistakes. Let's become eternal students, like little babies, when they learn to walk, always fall at the beginning, but their great will does not allow them to give up, and because of that will, they succeed in the end. The fact is that when a person starts to change, others will in most cases oppose it because they are not used to such a thing. But is it important what others want? The only thing that should be important is what we want. Our will and desires should be our priority, not to tell others that we are better, but because we as a person are ready to grow, ready to change, ready to become a better human being, ready to be better than yesterday. Only in this way is it possible for a person to always be satisfied with himself, to always have peace of mind. But let's be honest, yes, there is another side, and that is what we want will become the only important thing for us, that we will stop looking at things negatively, because we cannot look at progress negatively. On the contrary, it can only set us back. We will look to a bright future. Maybe someone will say that it is selfish, but the fact is that they wanted to. When they fell, they had a choice. But for the rest, what we should be interested in is what others think. What we think is important, because that's the only way we can progress. Only our own thinking that are not influenced by external influences and that are protected from manipulation can lead us to the right path, to the path of eternal peace and tranquility. A person who works on himself is not a weak person, but on the contrary, a warrior who has entered into an eternal earthly war against himself and is aware that this war will never end, at least not until he is brought to that moment when he is about to expire, when his hope for advancement and growth to die a moment before him. We cannot always fight against everything alone, but we can always call God to help us. And now comes the prayer. Lord, I come before you today to ask for your blessing. I seek a positive outcome in my life, and I know that with your help, I can achieve anything. I am asking for your guidance and strength as I move forward on my journey. Amen.